have a massive migraine inside of the right eye socket. At least I think it's a migraine. Camp is finally over. We've done it. We've completed 5 grueling weeks of camp. But we're not going to be able to show much for it because financially, Amazon has sucked the life out of us. So we need to make sure that we are able to recoup the money that Amazon has taken from us with the second batch of deliveries and shipping of the backpacks. Yeah, I'm running on very, very low energy at the moment because today's been a really tough day. How many hours sleep did I get last night? Maybe 4, because I had that power nap which lasted 2 hours. So I woke up in the morning just in a really bad way. Like, I'm talking about drifting in and out whilst driving, which is incredibly dangerous. But the Red Bull helped, and the Red Bull is gonna need to be stopped. Tomorrow is the final day, and as the weeks have actually gone by, I've felt my body, like, number one, be dependent on it, and number two, hate it as the weeks progressed. The thought of like getting a Red Bull and drinking it just makes me feel a bit sick, but I I need it, or I feel like I need it. Otherwise, I'm unable to just zip into action. So tomorrow is the final day, Friday, but I am going to be with Yasmin, so that's good. And I didn't think that I was going to be able to come home today and do work, but somehow I've sat down and I've done a bit of work, a bit of Arsenal work, which again I feel guilty for doing because it's not necessarily work. It's things that I'm working on to improve the brand and to improve, I guess, the activity that we're doing on Twitter right now. I've got a vision of what I want this brand to be, and I want to execute it because I'm convinced, well, it's more like an experiment to see whether these steps are going to work. And if they don't, then clearly I'm missing the trick. But I'm confident. We got this in the post today. That's another 3 points on the license. But that's the least of my worries. Right now, I'm just drained. I need to get a really good night's sleep so that tomorrow we can finish camp strong. And then it's a case of planning for the next term. We've spoken about starting weekend classes. We need to get recruitment right this time round. It's something that we've been struggling with a lot. I don't know, maybe I'm just being lazy with finding the right strategy. It's such a really awkward job, and so it's a very weird sort of vacancy to try and fill vacancies, because the hours are very awkward. The type of person we're looking for is quite specific, and so unfortunately not everybody wants to do this kind of job with the limited amount of time, money as well, I guess. I need to do something about it, otherwise next term that should be the priority right now on my list, and that's something I need to try and figure out, how to prioritize priorities. How do people prioritize priorities? Well, they probably start by using their brains and thinking, what is at the top of my agenda? What is the most pressing matter right now? And it has to be recruitment. I am going to give Indeed a call tomorrow to see what they can do to help improve our ads. We have had some successful candidates come through previously from Indeed, but I'm sure there's other ways. There has to be. Do I speak to other business owners in this sector who have successfully recruited teachers? That might be a good idea, but something is going to have to be done quite soon. I'm worried. I'm concerned. But I feel like the decision has been made internally. I'm probably not going to be applying for any more jobs because let's find out how many I've applied for actually, because I've actually kept a record of this. Let's have a look. Job applications. 6, 12, 17, 27, 31, 32, 42, 43, 53, 54, 65 jobs that I've applied for. Not a single interview so far. No one getting back to me to say, oh, we'd like to speak to you a little bit more about it. A range of different types of jobs. I think a lot of it is to do with, well, let's have a look. Social media account director. There are quite a few high position jobs in here, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, but there are others like project coordinator, which is essentially a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a role where you start from junior role. Events coordinator, social media content creator, which is a 20 to 30k salary. So yeah, it's pretty frustrating to know that people aren't interested in me, someone who's stacked with experience and skills and abilities and other stuff. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I find it really weird that people don't want to hire me. My CV is pretty good as well. Anyway, yeah, I think internally I've decided I'm just going to go all in on Smart Raspberry. I hate the journey, but kind of left with no choice. I need to provide for my family, and I need to, yeah, that seems like the best solution right now. Uber application, if it was here, that'd be great, but it's not. So yeah, we're chipping away, but I'm just glad that from next week we have full days in. And what I want to do is I want to implement a like an incentivized schedule, right? So I'm going to draw it out here on this pad. You've got 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you've got 7 days, right? Each day, well, 6 of the 7 days, I need to commit at least 10 hours of work, right? What does my schedule say actually? Because I've broken down the amount of hours that I'm supposed to do somewhere. Where did I do it? Farhan, work timetable, here we go. So we've got 8 to 10, which is 2 hours. Then you've got 11 to 1:30, which is 2.5 hours. So that's 4.5 hours. Then you've got 2 till 6, which is 4 hours. So you've got 8.5 hours. And then you've got 9 to 12. Why do I do half hours? That's such a stupid way of doing it. So that's another 3 hours. I completely forgot what number I was on. Right, let's do this again. 2, 11 to 1 is another 2, so that's 4. 2 till 6 is 4 hours, so that's 8. And 9 till 12 is 3 hours, so it's 11 hours. So 12, or 11 and a half, because I didn't count the half hour from 1 to 1:30. 12 hours. Is it realistic to do 12 hours of work every day? Is that realistic? Maybe we should limit it to 10. So let's say 10 hours, right? 10 hours a day, okay? So 10 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours. Okay, so altogether that gives you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, obviously 60 hours out of it's, out of 6 days, 60 hours altogether, right? I need to do 60 hours. And the incentive is if I do 60 hours on one of the weekend days, I get a day off. But if I don't do the 60 hours, then I have to work on that day. That's kind of an incentivized program that I'm thinking in my head. Is it a way that will ultimately encourage me to do work, or will it be a system that I abandon like I have with many others? Anyway, rambled on long enough. Where am I mentally? I'm in a good place because summer camp is over. However, I do feel the anxiety of what's coming around the corner, which is the new term of after school clubs. Lots of Amazon work that needs to be done, which I haven't touched or thought about. The Arsenal therapy, which is rolling in week by week. How many listens did we get actually? Let's just have a quick look at the statistics. 583 listeners in 2 days. That's not bad at all. And I'll leave it at that.